Then maybe when they go to school, they get a little bit bored with the same old pedagogical techniques. But really the true reason I'm here today is I love to hang around smart people. And Shree Bose certainly qualifies as a smart person and really an inspiration. A rising senior in high school, she tells me she's still trying to decide where to go to college, and something tells me she won't have any problem getting some very nice offers. But she was inspired by the death of her grandfather to do the study of cancer, that she found a very willing mentor to help her learn and to compete in this important project. She asked the questions of what makes some cancer cells resistant to chemotherapy, and she came up with some very interesting answers, most of which I don't really understand very well. I'm glad Google and the judges who judged her entry do understand it, and they found her submission worthy. But of course, she's going to walk away from this competition with a little bit of help in college, $50,000 in prize money from Google. And I saw you're going to the Galapagos Islands. I've always wanted to go to the Galapagos Islands. You can go visit a collider in Switzerland. And thanks to her mentor, Professor Basu of the University of North Texas Science Center, who mentored her and gave her access to her lab and challenged Shree in a way that she was able to rise to the challenge. And sometimes I think that's what we have to do more of, is simply expect more and challenge our young people, and then give them the tools to meet that challenge. I just want to say one last word about the importance of STEM education. We know that more of our children need to be learning the skills necessary, whether it's in math, science, engineering, generally. And the truth is, here in Texas, because of an emphasis on STEM education, we've actually made some significant improvements. We're not where we need to be yet, but we have improved considerably. Last month, the Texas Education Agency reported that students scored an average of 21.5 on the math exam, which is a record high for Texas, which is an increase of 0.7 of a point. It may not seem like that much, but it is an exceptional sign of progress since 2007. And that puts our state above the national average. On the science portion of the ACTs, Texas scored just below that national average. But our scores have showed movement in the right direction. They've improved over the last 4 years, even as the national average has declined a little bit. But we still have a lot of work to do in math and science, and we need to continue to try to figure ways to make learning interesting, and that's part of what happens here at this outstanding museum. And we know that with young people like Shree Bose, that they will be the leaders, not of tomorrow. She's already a leader today, winning this wonderful award. But there's a lot that our young people can do if we challenge them and provide them the tools they need in order to reach their potential, and thus not only excel as an individual, but to keep America competitive in a very competitive global economy. So at this point, I'd like to turn the podium over to Alan Davidson, who's here representing Google, and he can talk a little bit about their involvement here. But I want to say thanks to Google for their generous support for this project, and not only Shree has benefited from it, but a lot of other young people here in North Texas as well. Thanks, Alan.
Well, thank you very much, and we're delighted to be here, and thank you to Senator Cornyn for being here today, and for fighting for the funding that makes math and science a priority in our schools, not just here, but nationwide. We really appreciate it. It's a huge national challenge for us, something that's very important for our future competitiveness as a country, and something that of course, the industry cares a lot, but it's important for all of us. One need not look much further than Shree Bose to see that Texas is doing something right when it comes to education. We're here to celebrate Shree and an idea that she turned into something that could literally save people's lives. Shree entered Google's first ever science fair. I'll say that we were really gratified. We didn't know what to expect, but this is a fair that attracted 7,500 entries, over 10,000 students from 91 different countries. The competition, as we were discussing, was pretty intense, and Shree entered the fair hoping to figure out how to counteract resistancy in a very popular ovarian cancer drug. And with the help of Dr. Basu, her mentor, she was able to find an answer in a particular cellular energy protein. And this is a pretty big deal. I keep thinking, gosh, science fairs have changed a lot since I was a kid. To pouring vinegar and baking soda into a volcano, right? I mean, we're really talking about research that is going to affect people's lives. Each year in the United States, more than 21,000 women are diagnosed with ovarian cancer. About 15,000 women die of the disease every year. Shree's research is going to open up an entirely new field and a new opportunity for a lot of those women. And so not only does her research help us better understand ovarian cancer, it's going to also help us understand cancers in general. It's a very interesting finding and something that's really going to impact people's lives. So this is not your father's science fair anymore. At Google, we see science and math as tools for changing the world nearly every day. It's what enables us to build products that help people find the answers to their questions. It's the kind of thing that helps the Center for Disease Control understand flu outbreaks, helps federal agencies during natural disasters. In all of our walks of life, we're seeing technology make a difference. Our country needs more mathematicians and scientists. We need more policymakers like Senator Cornyn who appreciate that. We need more museums like this that inspire young people, and we definitely need more students like Shree. So I'm honored today to present to her this, let's see, give this a try, this one-of-a-kind Lego trophy, which we commissioned in honor of her groundbreaking discovery. And since we are close to the Cowgirl Museum, it has a small cowgirl on top. Let me bring this over here. And very carefully, I'll just say, that we are humbled by your ingenuity and by your dedication and your skill. Congratulations. Please join me in congratulations. I'm turning the podium back over to Senator Cornyn to wrap us up if you'd like.
Well, thanks, Alan, and thanks to all of you for being here. Van, thanks for your leadership here in Fort Worth and the great philanthropy that takes place here in Fort Worth. Seems like an extraordinary sort of fashion that makes this place possible. But the goal, of course, is to celebrate great accomplishment by people like Shree, but also her parents, who play a very important role in guiding her during her growing up, but great mentors as well, all of whom have a critical role to play in the development of these brilliant young minds that we're going to be depending on for our future, not only in terms of growing our economy, but making the United States competitive globally. That means maintaining our quality of life, our prosperity, and the opportunity that we have ourselves inherited from our parents and grandparents, but that we must preserve and pass on to future generations. So thanks, Shree, for letting me be a part of this great event today. Van, thank you for all you do. Alan, thank you for Google's generosity and for making an example of this brilliant young lady. And Doctor, thank you for your mentorship of this brilliant young mind, and may you continue to mentor more. Thank you very much.